Hello YouTubes and welcome back to another episode of MagicManMo Productions. Today we're playing Selena Gomez in the Wizard of Oz, and I'm going to be walking you through how to get through it if you're having some difficulty or trouble or you're stuck somewhere. Without any further ado, let's get going. The game starts actually with this little lion and mouse situation. It kind of teaches you how to play the game before you get to the game, and it starts when you can scare the lion. So we click on the mouse and then bring the mouse to the lion. We just dangle it in front of his nose and he runs off somewhere. Now we open up into the game and Selena's on the phone with none other than Justin Bieber, talking to her BFF, or BF, or boyfriend forever, yeah, about that. Anyway, we're playing as the dog and we're trying to warn Selena that there's a tornado heading her way, but she just won't listen because she's on her phone with the most dreamy boy ever, and I don't blame her, but in the end, her house gets sucked up by the tornado and sent off to none other than the land of Oz. We land right smack on top of this witch, this red-robed witch of the East. Selena's all discombobulated and thinks, oh my god, something happened. I should go outside and see what happened. But before we do, we need to pick up this ugliest eagle I have ever seen in my entire life. Look at him. He's so angry to be here right now. So we're gonna pick him up. I also picked up Toto. Honestly, I don't think I use him in the entire game, but go ahead and pick him up for moral support, and then you can leave the house. Selena comes out and sees, oh my god, I just hit a witch. And this accusing man and other witch walk up and say, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, I don't know what happened. I just fell down and this witch was here and she's dead. I didn't even know. Anyway, get through their dialogue. It really doesn't matter what you say. Just get through the dialogue. The Wicked Witch of the West comes over and says, oh my god, you killed my sister. I want her shoes. The Good Witch of the North or South or whatever she is says, oh no, the shoes belong to Selena because Selena killed her. It's kind of like the wand from Harry Potter. If you're into Harry Potter, I guess if you kill the person with the shoes, you get the shoes. I don't know. I don't know. Once we're through the dialogue, those two friendly people walk off and the evil witch disappears somewhere, and we can look to the left. I'm looking to the left just to show you that there's this ore here in this quicksand. If you walk off into the sand, you do in fact fall down because there's a danger sign that says danger shifting sands, and yeah, there's no way anyone was gonna see that because your head was in the way. So all anger aside, let's continue right, and just remember that there is an ore I need to come back to. Over here in Munchkin Land, we see that there's a tin can here, and I'm going to try to pick it up. However, this annoying little Munchkin's like, no, I can't give that to you. That belongs to the Tin Man. And I'm like, well, can I get it? Can I have it? And he's like, no, you have to go get permission from the Tin Man. I'm like, well, fine, let's go get permission. So let's remember there's a tin can there. Also, there's this rope tied around this sign here. We need it. Do not miss it. It's very easy to miss. There's also some bamboo sticks behind the yellow house, so be sure to get them. We can't talk to the Munchkin in the middle because he's just literally got nothing to say to us. We can't even try. Selena's like, I don't want to talk to him. He's so beyond me right now. Just look at him and that haircut. No, that's not for me. Anyway, we're gonna talk to the guy on the far right. See, his door is open. I get the feeling there might just be something inside his house that I want. So I ask if I can get inside his house, and he says, no. These are the most unhelpful munchkins of all time. He wants something tender and crisp and sweet and juicy in return for letting us inside. If we move on to the right, we immediately see the answer to that problem. You see there's an apple on top of that incredibly angry looking tree, and I think I want that apple. So if I click on it and try to approach it, the evil man-eating tree yells at me, hoists me into the air, presumably to eat me, and we're doomed. So I see this pile of rocks over here, and I'm like, well, maybe I can, like, knock the apple down or throw it at the tree or something, but the tree doesn't really seem to care, so I've got an even better idea. You see, his hand is throbbing red, and I'm just wondering if perhaps he stubbed it on something the other day. If we chuck the rock at his hand... Oh yeah, he's not happy about that, but see, he can't reach us, so what's he gonna do? He chucks the apple back at us. Yeah, we didn't really like that, did we? Ah, but we did. Now, before I go back to the other Munchkin, I'm actually going to keep going right and see what's over here. Here's the Tin Man. He can't move. See, he seems to have been rusted over, and he can't quite speak with us. However, I see his axe over there, and I'm thinking I can use that as proof that I have the Tin Man's permission for the left Munchkin later. However, I'm going to continue going right. We see that the Scarecrow's here, and he's just so sad. He's just tired of being stuck up on this crucifix day in and day out. He wants to go, but he's got a job to do. He's got to scare away the crows. So we're going to keep that in mind and return later when we know what to do. Going right, we see there's a dead end that looks like we may need the Tin Man to get through. So we're going to go back to the Munchkin houses. Now that we're at the Munchkin houses, I'm going to give the apple to Munchkin number 3, and he's going to be like, oh, okay, that seems like a fair trade. Let's me inside, and we're going to steal all his stuff now. We're going to steal this toy mouse, this bucket, this toy mouse wind-up piece, which is under the sofa. Do not miss it. It's very easy to miss, and we're going to pick up this stool. Now that we have all that, we can leave, and we're going to go get the oil can from Munchkin number 1. If we hand him the axe, he'll believe us when we say that we have the Tin Man's permission to take the oil can, and so we do so, and continue moving right. You see, we're going to oil up the Tin Man and free him from his rusty prison, because that's how oil works, ladies and gentlemen. A little squirt here and a little squirt there, and the Tin Man's free! Now, we want him to come along with us, so I just immediately lied to him, and I asked him if he would like to join me. And then I just lied to him. Oh yeah, I'm sure the wizard can give you your heart or whatever it is you want. And he joins us. Now if we continue right, we see that there's the Scarecrow. Now we have to figure out how to get that Scarecrow, so I've got an idea. There's a second crucifix over here, so I'm going to stick a stool underneath it. And I'm going to climb on top and stick the eagle on top. Now I don't know if it's a real eagle, a toy eagle. I really don't know. I don't know if this is animal cruelty or if I'm just playing with stuffed animals. All the same, it does the same job as the Scarecrow, but better, because eagles are terrifying. Now if I pick up the stool and stick it underneath the Scarecrow and talk to him, he can hop on down, and he's free at last. Free at last. Now talking to him, I convince him to join us as well. You see, we'll need all the characters of the Wizard of Oz. If you remember, there's a Tin Man, a Scarecrow, and a lion. We'll need the lion later, but we haven't discovered him yet. So let's continue right. And we see all these logs in our way. If we hand the axe back to the Tin Man, and the Tin Man to the logs, he'll chop them right in two for us. Now that the path is clear, we can continue onward. There's nothing in this one, so we'll just continue onward from here as well. Oh my god, no! There was something here! It's a scary lion bandit highwayman! They're ready to eat us! But we know something. We know that this is supposed to be a cowardly lion. I've got an idea. Remember that little intro bit where we had to scare the lion with the mouse? Guess what we have? We have a mouse. So if we stick the little wind-up piece onto the mouse and then wind up the mouse, we can actually just stick him off into the grass here, and the mouse will walk behind the tree that we know the lion's hiding behind, and the lion, terrified, hops out and is no longer a threat to anybody. If we go speak to him, he's ashamed. He tells us about how he pretends to be brave so that people don't accuse him of being cowardly, because he's actually cowardly, or some shenanigans like that. If we exhaust his dialogue, he'll join us so that we can all go to Oz together to solve our individual problems. Now here we have an interesting scenario. We have some dirt we can pick up here in the corner behind Selena's massive head, and we have a long log that I'm going to just stick in my pocket. Now there's this rope up here on the tree branch that I want. I want that rope up there, but I don't quite know how to get to it. Now here's my idea. You see, if you try to put one of our friends down on that X, we learned that they can't support the lion's weight. So if we stick the lion on the bottom, we're going to create something of a tower of people. We're going to do the lion, then the Tin Man, then the Scarecrow. See, it goes heaviest is the lion, medium is the Tin Man, lightest is the Scarecrow, and then the Scarecrow can grab that rope for us. Now if we use the Tin Man, he can chop up these logs, and we can use the rope to create a raft, and we can stick the raft into the water. Now, if we hop on the raft, we're stuck. We can't actually get across this incredibly small stream of water. And this is when it dawns on me, we need that oar. Remember the oar from the beginning? So let's walk all the way back to that oar. Now that we're here, we have to decide, how are we gonna get that oar? It's surrounded by quicksand. Well, I got an idea. If we take this vine and the bamboo branches together, we can create a bamboo ladder. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Now if you climb up the ladder, you can actually scale onto that branch, and we're told that Selena's female intuition has told her that the arrow keys will allow her to traverse this branch. So just hold left on your keypad grab the ore with your feet and then hold right and get off the tree before you fall off into the sand. Now we have the ore. We don't need the ladder, so we can just leave it there and walk our way all the way back to our raft. Now that we are at our raft, we can grab the ore and just, you know, ore our way across. That was easy. Now, while we're here, we're gonna take this bucket and fill it with the water from the stream. And I'm gonna stick the soil in the bucket to make fresh mud. Now, it's not real clear why I did that until you move on to this next bit here. You see, there are these really stinky looking flowers, and if you've seen the movie, you'll know what's coming. If I try to walk across, Selena gets a little sleepy. It's just like, I just wanna take a nap. Yeah, they emit some sort of sleepiness and you fall asleep. However, if we douse them with the mud that we've created, we can cross safely. And now we can see the Emerald City before us, just within our reach. We run up to the door and we knock on the door. I try to talk to the door, but let's knock on the door, and the little trap door opens with this cute little guy. He sticks his head out and says, "Hey, what do you want?" And I'm like, "I want to see the Wizard of Oz." And he's like, "Go away, you stupid brat." And I'm like, "Well, I don't want to go away. I've come all this far." So I knock again, and we've got some dialogue, and I say that I need to see the Oz, and that I'm Selena, he might know me from TV, and the guy's like, "No, I don't believe you." So I knock again, and then, after the third time, I show him my slippers, just automatically, just keep doing dialogue until that happens, and he lets me in. Now we can speak to the great and mighty Wizard of Oz. We basically all ask him for the things that we want, and he says, "Okay, I'll do it for you if you eliminate the Wicked Witch of the West and bring me her hat as proof." And we're like, "Oh God, we can't possibly do that, but we must try." So we start heading off to the west, I guess. We get this little cutscene where the witch sends her monkey off to get me, and right at the gates of the west, the monkeys come and attack everybody and take me away. This is where they all kind of gather their courage. Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion are like, "We must save Selena," but we won't see them do that. They will not save us. We have to save ourselves. So I don't know what that was all about. The witch tells us that she's going to kill us using the power of the hourglass, so it's going to take away our life, basically. So long as that is upside down, we have 1 minute to survive. So we need to get rid of that glass somehow. I basically start clicking on everything out of desperation. However, I find out that that skull, by touching on it, it's cursed. So I just chuck the oil can at it, break the skull, and it turns out that the skull is what was creating the cage. Now that the cage is down, I can walk over and take the hourglass. Now that it's on its side, I don't have to worry about dying. I pick up the candle and the book, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, we don't need either of those things. There is a bucket of water underneath the table. You can just barely see it, don't miss it. It is very hard to see, but you will need it to pass this section. We're going to do an old prank here. We're going to stick the bucket on top of the door, and then use the mouth icon on the door to yell for the witch. "Miss Witch, we're escaping!" She comes in to see what all the ruckus is about, and of course the water falls on her head, she melts, we pick up the hat, and we're free to leave. Now that we have the hat, we make our way back to the Wizard of Oz, and he's just baffled and bamboozled that we've actually managed to get the hat. He didn't think we could, and he tells us, I might not be able to do the things I said I'd do. Here, let me meditate on it. Controlling Toto, we walk over to that suspicious curtain in the wall over there, and Toto yanks back the curtains, reveal the small man that let us in is actually, in fact, controlling the wizard. He tells us he doesn't mean to deceive us, he's in the same situation as we are, you know, that he's trapped here because he came here on an air balloon and all that shenanigans. Basically, we've beat the game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just wrapping up the story. If you've gotten this far, you've won. He basically gives everybody something. The Scarecrow gets a diploma, the Lion gets a badge, and the Tin Man gets a heart clock, which is kind of morbid and kind of weird. But we can't get home yet. So the old man says, "Hey, I've still got my hot air balloon, let's go home." They get on the hot air balloon, however Toto freaks out because he sees a cat, hops off, we hop off with Toto, and the old man flies away. Oh no, we're stuck here forever, what will we do? This is the part in the movie where the nice witch of the wherever floats on over and tells us, hey, you could go home all along. You could use the ruby slippers to go home. Now this is hilarious. We say, well, why didn't you tell us that before? And she's like, well, if I would have told you before, you wouldn't have believed me. And that is like the lamest excuse. I just want to say, that is the lamest excuse. I didn't tell you before because you wouldn't have believed me. We're in the realm of magic and munchkins and witches and stuff. What do you mean I wouldn't believe you? Of course I'd believe you. I'd have no other choice. I think she's an evil witch. I think that's the twist ending. And the good witch is secretly the evil witch. Regardless, we've beat the game, we've made it out. If this walkthrough helped you at all, feel free to leave a like, comment, a suggestion, a share with your friends, etc. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!